Today, I'm here with Will Steck, the GM from Meadow Lake Resort and Condos in Columbia Falls, Montana. So I have here that we serviced you from like July to October of 22, and then like January to April 23. And then it looked like also some later in the year in July, October of 23. That sound about right in a nutshell?
Yeah, I think so.
So, and you had, really good feedback for me in some capacities because I kind of like copied and pasted some notes of some things. You just commentary about like the work ethic of the people, and then one time you said, we sent our final hotel staff workers to the airport on Monday. It was a sad day for our team. They did a great job. Anytime I hear that, that makes me feel good. I want you to miss us. You know what I mean? I want you to miss the people that we send. So that was kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we want to see. It's not uncommon for our people to go elsewhere and then to become integral parts or feel like family. And, that's really ultimately the goal. It's not just it's about sending good people, but it's about sending people that are fit for your organization. And when you have that kind of happens, I go, okay, that's closer to the mark of what we're trying to do. So could you give me like a ballpark, like 15-second intro on who you are and what you do? Walk us through that.
Yeah, you bet. My name's Will Steck. I am the general manager at the Meadow Lake Resort in Columbia Falls, Montana. We are a 4-season resort. There's a golf course here. We also ski at Whitefish Mountain Resort, and we're really focused in the peak season on Glacier National Park.
Right. Okay. So could you share with me a little bit about what your organization and your life looked like, your business looked like before you started working together with us? I mean, we covered a little bit of that earlier, but what were you struggling with before? Like, what were the pain points?
I started working with Meadow Lake about the middle of the COVID labor crisis, and it was clear right away that we just weren't going to be ready for that peak season. I started in the spring, and we have a summer peak season here. So I was glad to get to know Mr. DiNardo, and it didn't take very long for us to line up some help, and then we lined up some more help. And I think that first summer went really well. So we brought some back in the ski season the following year. Some of them were the same individuals, and then we brought them back again the following summer, I think is how that went. Again, some of them the same individuals.
Okay. And were there things that clicked right away? I mean, what was the first small win?
I think reliability. They're here to work. They wanted to be a part of that. They're interested in doing a great job on time, every time, getting paid on Fridays, being a part of a team. It's somebody who's fully engaged with work. That's what I experienced with your crew.
So what was the biggest result or success with the service? How long did it take? I mean, what was the reaction from you and your team?
I think right away we were checking in at 4:00 like we want to be doing. When you don't have enough staff and you've got 150 rooms to service on any given Saturday or something like that, you're just not meeting that 4:00 deadline. And that had happened for a couple of summers before I got here. I can't say that it never happened after I started working here, but it's been really limited. And certainly a bunch of the people who worked for you are the reason we were able to pull that off, especially that first summer.
Are there any before and after claims that you could make, either personal or professional? Did we leave the place in a better condition than we found it?
I think that you certainly did. And the main takeaway there would be the team itself. The existing housekeeping team was so bolstered by that breath of fresh air, that fresh blood coming in, that they survive and make it year round into civilized long-term employment instead of something where they were working so hard in the peak season that it just wasn't a job they wanted to keep for another peak season or any further into the off season even.
So do you recall how we found each other? Did I reach out to you? Did you find me? Do you remember how that happened?
I know that you reached out to me. I'm not sure why, probably because you saw lots of desperate ads online with resumes.
Hey, however you find each other, sometimes you find me, sometimes I find you, as long as you remember me. I mean, that's what's ultimately important. So what would you just say to someone who's watching this right now and thinking about coming on board with us, but they're uncertain about HotelStaff.com? Could you share, what would you say?
I would say that I had a great experience with you guys, you especially, Jim. That's the relationship. If I was giving some advice to somebody, I'd say get to know Jim a little bit, stay in touch with him because he's always been responsive. He's been reliable. And when I need help, he's there to help. That's it.